Beer Tip of the Week is brought to you by theBeerean.com, the first and only blog focusing on... What? They're not the first... No... Well, you gotta tell me these things, guys. What do you expect me to do? How can I do my job if you don't give me this kind of information? What's next? Are they gonna stop sponsoring us? Are they gonna stop paying for us? What, they're not paying us now either? Oh, they're never... What? I quit.
Because even if Dr. Cox never took that 20 minutes for himself, like the minister said.
Beer, 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 beer. Welcome to Beer Tip of the Week. My name's Greg Qualls and I'm your host. Beer Tip of the Week is designed for the person out there who doesn't want to just drink their beer, but they want to enjoy their beer drinking experience. Each week I bring you a simple tip to help you do just that. This week I'd like to share you a tip that I got from my brother-in-law. Now if you've been drinking beer for any amount of time, you're going to run into this situation. You're going to go out to the liquor store, you're going to find a new beer that you haven't tried before but just looks really interesting and you want to try it out for the very first time. You get your beer, you get home or you go to your special event at a friend's that you're taking it to, and you go to twist off the top and you realize it's not a twist top, that you actually have to have a bottle opener to open up this beer. Well, your friend doesn't have a bottle opener. He doesn't have really anything to open the beer with, so you have to improvise. In these situations, there's a simple tip that I can teach you for how to open your beer bottle, and you can use almost anything. But first off, I want you to realize that there's beer bottle openers everywhere. They're always around you. You gotta keep your eyes out. For instance, my wife, for Christmas a few years ago, and I love her for this even more now, she decided to get me a grilling set. Well, if you notice the spatula on this grilling set right here, it has a beer bottle opener built in. Honestly, I love this. I don't necessarily cook hamburgers that often on my grill, so I don't really use this that often. Honestly, I've used this more times to open a beer bottle than I actually have used it to cook with. So, keep your eyes open. Most of you guys would recognize this as a wine bottle opener, right? So, you got these lying around. What most people don't realize is, on the other side of it, the top here, is a beer opener too. So, keep your eyes open. There's little nails everywhere. You got your can openers. Almost all can openers that I've ever seen, old school ones especially like this, have a beer bottle opener on it, on that side. Or they have the little hook end on it that you can use to open up a beer bottle. But what most people don't realize is if you can't find a spatula or a wine bottle opener or a can opener to open your beer bottle, ultimately you can always use one of these. Okay, so me and my jazz hands are going to show you how to do this. I've got a leftover bottle from well, not last week, from a couple episodes ago. We got this Gonzo Imperial Porter. At least it's going to come in use for something. I didn't necessarily like it for drinking, but we'll enjoy it for you doing this. This is an empty bottle and it has a pop top on it, so what I've done is I've pushed it back on just to use it for this example. It's going to come off a lot easier than a full bottle is, simply because it doesn't have any pressure behind it, but you'll get the idea behind it. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the top of the bottle like you were gripping a gun. Okay, so like you're going to have the bottom three there, top over, and you got your trigger finger, right? You want it even, get that deal, your hand at the top there, even with the top of this. Grab it around, get a good grip on there. Now here's where this comes in. We're going to use the bottom part of the lighter, okay? And this is going to be where we get the leverage. You stick that right underneath, I'm trying to get the good angles here, stick it right underneath your lid there, wrap your finger around and pull it in tightly. Then all you're going to do at that point is just pull up and pop off your top of your lid right there. So let's show you that one more time. Let's push this back on, snap it on there, grab the bottom there, rip around, get your trigger finger, stick it in there, and pop that off there. Very simple. Now one little warning whenever you're doing this, and I can't have any legal ramifications coming back for this. don't look at the bottle whenever you're opening it. The top will actually pop off. It will come off probably not with the same strength as a champagne bottle, but it's going to come off pretty hard. The friend at the liquor store that I talked to today, he said he's actually had friends who have had it shoot into their eyes and hurt their eyes. So don't look down, just kind of, when you're ready, turn your head away, that way you're not hurting yourself. And it looks kind of cool because the top pops off. Some of you guys might be wondering why I didn't talk about, putting the top of the bottle on the edge of a table and then hitting it with your hand and smacking it off. That's actually a good way to break a bottle and cut your hand up, and it also wastes a lot of beer whenever you do it. So I don't really recommend that method. Honestly, if you're at any kind of a party or a friend's house, you're going to be able to probably find somebody with a lighter and use that. If you're at home, I would hope that you would already have a bottle opener. If not, go out and buy one. My recommendation is to just get one like this that you can put on your keychain. That way you have it with you at all times, and honestly, you can be the savior of a party if you're the only person with a bottle opener. Good way to meet a lot of new friends. That's your beer tip of the week. Before I end this show, I'd like to put a quick call out to all my viewers out there. If you'd like to be part of Beer Tip of the Week, I'm in need of two things. One, I need introduction videos. If you'd like to be one of the people who introduces Beer Tip of the Week, all I need you to do is email me a video of yourself stating your name, saying who you are, where you're from, and saying you're watching Beer Tip of the Week. So if, for instance, if it was me, hey, my name's Greg Qualls, I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you're watching Beer Tip of the Week. It's simple that you can use a webcam on your computer. If you got a Mac, it's real easy to do that. That would be good. Better would be if you did it at your local bar. Best would be if you did it at your local bar wearing a theBeerean t-shirt that you can buy in the store. Best would be if you did it at a local bar wearing a theBeerean t-shirt with all your friends wearing their theBeerean t-shirts too. So, either way, I'll take whatever I can get. Just send the introduction videos to greg@thebeerean.com. The other way that you can participate and help out with Beer Tip of the Week is simply by sending me tips. If you have any simple tips to help people enjoy their beer more, you can send them to tips@thebeerean.com. So those are your two emails, greg@thebeerean.com and tips@thebeerean.com. Well, that's Beer Tip of the Week. I'm Greg Qualls, your host. Thank you for watching. And remember, whether you eat or drink, do it all to the glory of God. I'll see you next week. Jazz hands. Jazz hands.